What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Dean, aka the Blue Crusader. So what I'm going to be doing in this video is showing you how to install Spigot as a Minecraft server and how to get plugins on your Spigot server. Basically, for anyone who doesn't know, Spigot is a fork of Minecraft Bukkit, and Bukkit is a modified version of the Minecraft vanilla server that allows you to run plugins such as World Guard, World Edit, and certain anti-griefing and admin plugins. So it basically makes your server much better with things like ranks, commands, and much more. Basically, Spigot is a modified version of Bukkit, which is by a few other developers contributing to the project, and it runs the same, and you can use the Bukkit plugins on Spigot and vice versa interchangeably. So basically, you want to go on to getbukkit.org and click Spigot 1.15.2. This is going to be a 1.15.2 tutorial, but it will work on all versions of Minecraft. So I'm going to go ahead and download it and click on the .jar to actually download it, and it will download the file. Wait for it to download, then click keep below if it asks you to save the file, and then what we're going to do is just wait for it to synchronize, and when the file downloads we're going to set up our folder structure on how to actually get this running. Now what we're going to do in the meantime is we're actually going to get some plugins, okay, and I'm going to show you how to set up a basic plugin. I'm going to go ahead to the Spigot plugins directory, and I'm going to link the download for the Spigot server, which we've just used, and the Spigot plugins directory in the link in the description below, and I'll also link the Bukkit directory for the Bukkit plugins because you can also use them on this too. So basically I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to sort them by the rating or maybe the downloads just to see what's popular, and you'll see that Essentials is one of the most popular Spigot tools. So I'm going to download Essentials X because this is what most people want to use. Installing all plugins is the same unless you're using something like permissions or complex things. This isn't a plugins tutorial, I'm just going to show you how to install a basic plugin along with the server once we set it up. So now we've downloaded Essentials X, you can see .zip in the corner. I'm going to go to my Windows downloads folder, and you'll see I have a lot of files here. I'm going to right click on Spigot 1.15.2 and press cut, and then I'm going to go to my desktop and I'm going to make a new folder, and I'm going to call this folder just Spigot MC, and that's going to be our new Minecraft server folder with plugins. And I have a file on this desktop, okay, called run.bat. So I'm going to first paste the file that we just cut, which is the Spigot server. Then I'm going to drag this run.bat into the folder. Now, to make this run.bat file, you right click, press new, text document, and then call it run. And then we're going to open this and press edit, okay? And inside here, we're going to paste the command from the run.bat, which I already have. And if I right click and press edit, this is the command we're going to run, okay? So we're going to paste this into the new run.txt file that we just made, and this is going to be in the description as well. If it's not there, you can copy it from the screen right now. And basically the only thing we have to do is change this .jar name to 1.15.2 instead of 1.14.2, but when I put it in the description it will already be changed. And then I'm going to press save, okay? Now this basically means that we run Java and we run 4 GB of RAM with Java, okay? And then we run the jar, which is the Spigot 1.15.2 server jar in our folder, and the no GUI means that there'll be no server console. It'll just show all the commands in a command line window. You don't need to understand what that means if you don't get it, but basically that's what it means in complex terms. So you can change this value if you have a bad PC. You can change this from 4096 to 2048. Both of these values, you can change those to 2048, and that will be 2 GB of RAM. Or you can change them to 1024, which will use 1 GB of RAM, etc. And you just keep multiplying that value. So basically, I'm going to use this because that's 4 GB of RAM. And if you press save, it will save. But if we press save as now, it'll take us to this folder. And you'll see you can only select text documents, okay? So I'm going to X out of this. In Windows, you want to click home, and then you want to go to view, and make sure file name extensions is turned on. Okay, once that's turned on, you'll be able to rename files and change their file name extension when you rename them. So what we're going to do is I'm going to delete the run.bat that I had before, and we're going to right click and rename this .txt and put .bat, and then press enter, press yes, and it will change it into a bat file instead of a text file. So that's how to do it quickly. Okay, So now what we want to do is run as administrator this bat file, okay? And it will open up this console and hopefully it should run the Spigot server. So it says loading libraries, please wait. Now it'll say failed to load, okay? And the reason for this is we need to accept the terms of service with Minecraft. So right click and press edit on the eula.txt and change false to true and then press save and then run the server, the run.bat, the same as we did before. And now everything should work as we want it to. So it'll say you're loading libraries and it'll actually run now. So you'll see that it's pinging the server players, it's looking for the data packs, preparing the world, and everything is actually expanding. So all the files, like the property files, the op, the player list, the banned players list, all the commands, everything will now actually load, and it'll say preparing spawn area. So it's loading the actual map and creating it and generating everything. So this is how to get it to work. The server's basically working now, okay? And it's generating the end, it's generated the nether, and then it'll say done at the bottom. So now technically if we connected to that server it would work. So I'm going to close this off now to disable the server. I'm going to right click on server.properties and press edit with Notepad++. You need Notepad++ to edit the server properties. What you could do to edit it normally is you could right click, press copy, and then right click and press paste, so we have a copy of that file, and then we could rename it now and call it server.properties and then put .txt on the end and then press yes, and that will make it into a text file that we can actually edit with normal Notepad, okay? And then now what you can do is you can change the difficulty to easy, to peaceful, to normal, whatever you want to do. And you can change the game mode to creative. You can allow the nether, force a certain game mode, put a generator setting for a custom biome mod like Biomes O'Plenty, mess around with things like spawn protection, and you can basically change everything, okay? So you can enable the command block in here, just change false to true. You can change the maximum amount of players, so I can change this to 30 for an example, which depends on your internet connection and computer speed. You can mess around with allowing NPC spawns. If you change allow flight to true, that will allow people using fly mods and hacks to actually fly, so I wouldn't recommend that. And you can just change a lot of stuff, spawning animals, a custom resource pack that you want players to download when they connect to your server, and we can also change the seed, but you will have to delete the world folder and then restart the server if you want to generate a new map. And the MOTD is message of the day, so we could just change this to the Blue Crusaders server or whatever message you want to show, and that will show when people add the server to their server list. So now I'm going to press save. You can customize the properties however you want and exit, and I'm going to delete the original server.properties, and then I'm going to rename this new one that we just made and take the .txt off the end and press yes, and now we have an edited server properties. So now what we can do is if you want to install plugins, you just drop them into this plugins folder here, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my downloads folder and I'm going to right click and press cut on the Essentials X plugin and then paste it into our server plugins directory, and I'm going to extract it with WinRAR. But if you don't have WinRAR, you can right click, press open with, and then Windows Explorer, and it will open the zip file, and then you can copy everything from in here, okay? So I'm going to delete the .zip, and inside we can copy all these files or cut them, and then we can go back and paste them in our plugins directory. Then delete the original folder, and you can keep what you want, okay? So we can have Essentials Chat, we can have Spawn Protect. I'm going to delete all the spawn stuff in the anti-build, and now we have Essentials installed, which is the Spigot plugin. So now hopefully if I start the run.bat, which is the server console, we should have working plugins loaded. So it should say a line here, something about the plugin if it's loaded, okay? So we'll just wait for the actual commands and the server console to update, and it'll say here, you might be able to see it says loading Essentials Chat. So we now know that Essentials should work. So if the server doesn't crash right now, then the plugin should be correctly loaded and set up. So Essentials has a lot of commands. For an example, one of them is set home and /home, so we can easily just test that in game to make sure it's working, and we don't need any mods because we're currently running the normal. Spigot works for normal vanilla Minecraft, so plugins will work on any version of normal Minecraft as long as you run in the version the server has. So a modded or non-modded Minecraft version can connect to the server. So now it says done. So what I'm going to go and do is I'm going to open up Minecraft and we will start the game and just test that everything is actually working. So I'm going to click play on 1.15.2. You can run whichever version of Minecraft you made the server for, but for me and this tutorial we're playing on the latest version, which is 1.15.2. And I'm just going to load up the game and just show you how to set everything up and just make sure the plugin's working, make sure the server's working, and I'm going to show you how to make yourself operator, op, admin, whatever you want to call it. Okay, so now Minecraft's open, what you can go ahead and do, click on multiplayer, and then on multiplayer click add server, and then just call it whatever you want. I'm going to call it my server, and then the server address will be the IP, which is localhost. That's basically the IP for servers that you're running on your PC, and press done. If you want a custom IP, you have to do things like open the ports and mess around with certain things. I'm not going to show you how to do that in this video. This is just setting up the server. So now you'll see it says the Blue Crusader server, which is the message of the day, or the MOTD, which we changed in the server properties file, and it has 30 players like what we changed it to. So we can click join server now, and hopefully everything should be fully functional. And now we're going to connect to our Spigot server, and it'll say the Blue Crusader joined the game, and we're on a generated map, which is actually pretty cool. This seed seems to be pretty decent. We've spawned in the game and we have a desert temple, and right next to the desert temple we have a huge desert village which stretches pretty far. So this is a pretty awesome seed. So this is just to prove that everything works, but if we type /give for an example, it says you do not have access to that command, which means we're not operator. What you want to do is you want to open up the run.bat, which is now the server console, and you want to type in a command. Now commands, you don't type / in this because you don't need to. So I'm going to type in op or op space and then the player name, the Blue Crusader, and press enter, and you'll see in the game it says made the Blue Crusader a server operator, and it'll say the same in the game. And now if I type that /give command, instead of saying I don't have access, it'll say what I need to do. So I could type in give the Blue Crusader, and then it'll come up with a few items. I could type in, just click one of them, 10 disc and then 1, and it'll give me a music disc. So you can get the item IDs and the amount of the item which you want to be given, and you can spawn stuff. You can also type in /set home, and then I could run away and then type in home and it'll teleport me back. That's part of the essentials plugin we actually downloaded. We could type in /eat, feed, /spawn, which is not set yet. I'm pretty sure we have to have essential spawn, which I deleted out of the folder for that. But you get the picture. That's how to op yourself. That's how to set up a Spigot server with custom plugins and how to get everything working. So I hope this video was useful, guys. If it was, smash the like button. Leave a comment below if this was useful and if you managed to set up a server with these tips. And if you have any questions or need any support with this video, leave a comment or any questions or anything you're having trouble with in the comments below, and I'll try my best to reply to you and help you out. So thanks for watching, guys. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't already, and turn on the notifications for daily Minecraft videos, and I'll see you next time.